Let us drift together through the sands of time, where the ancient Hebrew temples stand quietly beneath the soft glow of evening stars. Here, in the stillness, we feel the echoes of battles long past, not in fear, but as whispers of courage and faith. Soft winds carry the distant chants of priests, and the flickering of oil lamps illuminates the sacred walls. Even in the midst of conflicts, there is a gentle rhythm, a reminder of devotion, of resilience, and of the enduring light that guides the spirit. Tonight, we walk softly through these ancient temples and their forgotten wars, letting each story wash over us like a gentle river, calming our hearts and lulling our minds toward restful sleep. If this journey eases your mind, let your spirit rest here with us. Comment softly where you are listening from, or subscribe to drift with these stories whenever the night feels long. The air is still, soft as silk, as the evening light drifts slowly across the ruins of Shiloh. The first temple, once alive with the murmurs of prayers, now rests in quiet memory. Stones, worn by centuries of sun and wind, hold the echoes of devotion. Each one hums gently, as if breathing with the patience of time itself. You float along a narrow path, the earth soft beneath your feet. A gentle breeze moves through the olive trees, carrying the faint scent of dry leaves and warm dust. Somewhere in the distance, a small stream trickles, its voice low and calm like a lullaby from the past. Shadows stretch long, embracing the stones, and you feel the quiet presence of countless prayers lingering in the air. Soft winds lift the remnants of voices, and for a moment you can almost hear them. Chants of hope, whispers of gratitude, songs of faith. The people who walked here long ago moved with care, offering incense, singing the psalms, tending the sacred flame. Their devotion was simple yet radiant, and it left a gentle imprint upon the stones. The temple stood not as a fortress, but as a sanctuary. Its walls were humble yet filled with purpose. You imagine priests moving slowly through its halls, hands brushing against carved wood and polished stone, carrying sacred vessels with a quiet reverence. Each step was measured, each breath mindful. Even in preparation for distant conflicts, there was calm. Even in the presence of uncertainty, there was devotion. A soft light falls across a weathered altar. Moss clings to its base, and tiny flowers have found home in the cracks. It is easy here to feel time folding over itself, the present and the past mingling, like a gentle stream weaving between stones. You pause to watch a bird alight upon the edge of the altar. Its feathers gleam faintly in the fading sunlight. It chirps softly, a single note carrying peace across the quiet air. Here at Shiloh, the concept of sacred space is alive. The stones do not demand attention, and the winds do not hurry. All moves at the pace of gentle breaths. Even the distant echoes of past conflicts feel softened, as if wrapped in layers of forgiveness and quiet understanding. You sense the human heart in all its striving, and yet you also feel the calm that comes from placing trust in something larger than oneself, something eternal. You drift slowly through the courtyard. The ground is uneven, scattered with fragments of pottery and the faint outlines of once golden lamps. Each piece tells a story, not with words but with presence. There is no rush here. Time seems to stretch, allowing the mind to soften. A small vine grows along a broken wall, and you imagine it carrying a silent prayer upward, toward the pale glow of the moon that begins to rise over the horizon. Soft shadows gather beneath the columns, and for a moment it feels as if the temple itself breathes with you. The walls seem to hum with a deep, quiet knowledge that devotion is not loud, that courage is not always seen, that even in the face of distant wars, a heart can remain calm. You feel this truth in your chest, in the slow rhythm of your breathing, in the gentle beating that accompanies the wind through the ruins. You wander toward the inner sanctum, where the veil would once have separated the ordinary from the sacred. The fabric is long gone, but the space remains, serene and waiting. Candles may no longer glow, but the memory of their soft light lingers like gentle stars resting on the stones. Each flicker, each shadow, carries the quiet pulse of those who came before. They moved with care, not with haste, and their footsteps were prayers in motion. Beyond the sanctum, the land stretches wide. Olive groves sway gently, and the hills roll in soft waves beneath the twilight sky. You watch as the first stars appear, one by one in a sky painted with dusky pinks and blues. Their light feels like an offering, delicate and steadfast, reminding you that even in darkness, there is guidance. The ancient temple, the silent stones, and the soft breeze all move together in a rhythm that soothes the mind and heart. The air carries a distant murmur, the imagined sound of people preparing for times of need. Perhaps a soldier sharpens a blade far away, or a priest lights an evening lamp. All these acts, though simple, are acts of devotion. They ripple across time, reaching you here, and you feel a sense of connection, gentle and unspoken. Even the notion of conflict feels softened, distant, like a shadow at the edge of a dream. You follow a narrow stair, smooth with centuries of wear, leading to a small terrace. From here, the view opens to the fields beyond Shiloh. Golden light touches the tops of olive trees, and the wind carries the faintest sound of flowing water. Here, the world feels expansive, yet safe, cradled in the quiet protection of the sacred place. A single dove lands nearby, its feathers brushing the air like soft whispers, reminding you that peace can exist even in a world that once knew conflict. Within the ruins, you notice carved symbols along a wall. Each one is gentle, curved, inviting the eye to linger. They speak not with words, but with presence. They are echoes of human hope, reminders of prayers made with open hands and hearts. You trace them slowly with your gaze, allowing each line to guide your mind towards stillness. There is a rhythm here, a soft cadence, like the rise and fall of waves against a shore. The night deepens. Shadows lengthen and the cool air wraps around you like a blanket. You feel the weight of history not as burden but as comfort. Every stone, every tree, every star above holds a story of devotion and gentle courage. The world of Shiloh, even in silence, offers calm, a sanctuary for wandering spirits. The stones, though unmoving, seem alive with memory, carrying the essence of prayers through centuries. You pause at a small spring, its water clear and steady. The surface mirrors the first moonlight, soft and pale. A leaf drifts slowly across and you follow its path, letting your thoughts drift with it. The water carries a quiet lesson. Even as life moves forward, even as wars rise and fall, there is always a place for calm, for stillness, for gentle reflection. The breeze moves through the ruins once more, brushing your face, ruffling the edges of long-forgotten robes, brushing against the moss-covered stones. It is as if the wind itself carries the whispers of those who once prayed here. Their devotion is gentle, patient, timeless. It settles softly around you and you breathe in this serenity, letting it fill your chest, your mind, your heart. You find a quiet corner beneath a broken archway and here you rest. The temple, though silent, holds you in its memory. You feel the continuity of care and devotion, of simple acts performed with intention. The ruins are not empty. They are filled with presence, with echoes of faith, with the soft pulse of human spirit in harmony with the divine. Now, as the stars rise higher, let your thoughts grow still. Let the soft wind carry away the restlessness of the day. Feel the stones beneath you, the gentle light above, the quiet rhythm of the world surrounding Shiloh. Each breath is slow. Each heartbeat is calm. You are cradled in the quiet devotion of centuries, held by the gentle patience of the sacred place. Let us drift onward through these silent stones, past the lingering echoes of prayer. The night is tender. The air is soft. The temple watches, silent and eternal. And now rest as the stars return to their gentle places, guiding the spirit to a quiet, peaceful sleep. The sky softens, brushing pale pink and lavender across the horizon. Shadows lengthen over the temple courtyard, stretching gently across worn stones. The air is cool, carrying the faint scent of olive leaves and the lingering warmth of the day. You float softly among the columns, the fading sunlight melting into the calm embrace of twilight. Flickers of golden light begin to appear. Lamps, small and humble, are placed along the temple walls. Their flames tremble gently, as if breathing, casting pools of warmth on the smooth stone. Each glow seems alive, carrying the memory of countless hands that lit them in devotion. The air hums quietly, filled with a serene energy that invites calm. You drift closer, noticing the priests as they move slowly through the temple. Their robes brush softly against the stones, whispering in rhythm with their measured steps. Each motion is deliberate yet gentle, a tender reflection of their care. They lift small lamps, offering light to every corner, watching as shadows yield to the golden glow. Even the walls seem to lean in, embracing the warmth, absorbing it with quiet gratitude. A distant drum beats softly, low and steady, marking the passage of evening. It is not loud, not urgent, but a gentle heartbeat that spreads across the courtyard. The sound mingles with the murmur of chants, voices soft and unwavering. You imagine the words not needing to hear them fully, their intention clear in the gentle cadence, in the quiet dedication of the singers. Each lamp seems to hold a story. You see one flickering near the altar, its light reflecting on the carved stone. The patterns shimmer and move like water, revealing faint images of hands raised in prayer, of faces lifted toward unseen skies. You feel these images wrap around you like a blanket, warm and protective, and your breathing slows with their rhythm. The priests move to the inner sanctum. Here, the air is heavy with incense, sweet and soft, curling in ribbons toward the ceiling. The smoke carries a subtle warmth, gentle on the skin, a balm for the mind. Each breath you take mingles with its presence, and you feel a deep, steady calm filling your chest. Even the softest flicker of candlelight seems alive with intention, as though each flame remembers the devotion of centuries. Beyond the sanctum, the courtyard opens into a quiet garden. Small lamps hang from olive trees, their glow dancing across leaves and branches. The shadows they cast are soft, like whispers from the past. A bird perches on a low branch, ruffling its feathers in the light, and you watch its small, careful movements. Even the smallest life seems touched by the sacred calm that fills this place. The wind drifts through the temple, moving gently among the lamps. It bends their flames but does not extinguish them. Instead, it seems to play with the light, carrying it like soft whispers across the stones. The sound is faint, a rustle, a sigh, a lullaby for the eyes. Your mind feels carried with it, light and unburdened, as if the wind has lifted the edges of your thoughts and laid them softly down. In one corner, a priest kneels beside a row of lamps, his hands cupped around the flame of a small candle. His movements are slow, reverent. He breathes softly, and you feel the calm radiate outward, brushing gently against your spirit. Even the distant echo of a footstep on stone feels like part of the quiet rhythm, a reminder that presence need not disturb serenity. The lamps flicker in response to the rising night. Their golden light mixes with the first pale stars that appear in the sky above. The world seems to pause, holding its breath. The temple becomes a haven of warmth and soft illumination, each corner tenderly touched by the careful glow. You watch the light sway, and each flicker feels like a heartbeat, steady, gentle, timeless. Small rituals continue quietly. A lamp is lifted, its flame reaching toward the ceiling. Another is placed upon a carved stone, its glow pooling around the base. Each act is an offering, a prayer in motion. You feel the devotion not as words, but as a gentle wave flowing around you, soothing and protective. Even distant preparations for unknown conflicts seem softened, carried in a current of care and quiet courage. The night deepens. Shadows merge and fold, but the lamps continue their gentle vigil. You notice how the flickering light reflects on the temple walls, tracing soft lines and curves, like waves moving slowly across water. The stone seems alive, holding the memory of each flame, each touch, each whispered prayer. You feel yourself sinking into this gentle rhythm, your thoughts drifting like leaves along a slow, calm stream. A soft breeze lifts the scent of incense again, mingling with the cool evening air. You imagine it moving through the corridors, past the altar, carrying prayers across time. Each inhalation fills your lungs with warmth and serenity. Each exhalation releases tension, letting your body and mind settle deeper into rest. Even the distant stars seem to twinkle with quiet encouragement, guiding your spirit to stillness. The priests continue their gentle movements. Their chants become a soft hum, low and comforting, flowing through the temple like water over smooth stones. You feel your heartbeat slow in rhythm with theirs. Each breath becomes deeper, each blink longer, each thought lighter. The lamps glow steadily, unwavering, as if assuring you that you are safe, that calm surrounds every corner of this sacred space. You drift to a small terrace, where a single lamp rests on the edge of a stone railing. Its flame dances slowly in the evening wind, casting long shadows across the courtyard below. You watch, letting the soft sway of light and shadow move through your mind like gentle waves. Every flicker feels like a reminder. Even amidst the quiet preparation for challenges far away, there is warmth, there is peace, there is presence. The air is filled with the soft harmony of elements: wind, flame, incense, stone, and water. They move together as one, carrying you along a slow, peaceful path. You feel the calm spreading through your body, settling into your bones, flowing through every fiber of your being. There is no hurry here. There is only the gentle rhythm of twilight and lamplight. Finally, you pause beside a low wall, the temple stretching quietly around you. The lamps glow softly, the stars peek through the dusk, and the night holds you in its gentle embrace. The chants have slowed. The incense curls in lazy spirals, and the breeze whispers through the olive trees. You feel the deep serenity of Shiloh at evening, carrying you gently toward rest. Let the light of these lamps guide your spirit. Let their warmth remind you of steady hearts and quiet devotion. The day has ended. The shadows are soft, and in this sacred calm you are held. Let us drift onward, carried by the golden glow, past the flickering flames and soft shadows, toward deeper quiet and gentle sleep. Now rest as the stars return to their places, and the temple of light watches over you, tender and eternal. The night stretches softly over Shiloh, draping the temple in silver shadows. The stars peek gently from the deepening sky, their light slow and tender, like tiny lanterns floating far above. You drift along the quiet corridors, past the lingering glow of lamps, and feel the temple's heartbeat in the cool stone beneath your feet. A faint scent of parchment and ink rises, subtle and grounding, like the whisper of stories waiting to be remembered. In a quiet chamber, the sacred scrolls lie gently upon low shelves, each wrapped in soft cloth, resting in their own stillness. You watch as a keeper approaches, hands careful, movements slow, as if the air itself has softened to accommodate the devotion of their touch. The keeper lifts a scroll with reverence, fingers brushing the delicate surface with a tenderness born from years of care. The parchment shivers slightly under their touch, as if waking from a long dream. You notice the way the light from a nearby lamp falls across the folds of the scroll, golden and calm, reflecting the patience of generations who came before. Soft echoes of footsteps drift through the chamber, not hurried, not loud, but measured, like a heartbeat synchronized with the rhythm of the temple. Each step, each breath is a meditation. The keeper unrolls the scroll slowly, revealing the flowing shapes of sacred letters. They trace each line with a fingertip, reading silently, their eyes steady and calm. The energy in the room feels like a gentle tide, washing over you, inviting your mind to float and rest. A soft breeze slips through the open window, carrying the faint scent of olive trees and cool evening air. It brushes across the room, stirring the edges of parchment and cloak alike. The flickering lamp bends slightly with the wind, and you notice how the shadows move like slow, quiet waves, softening the corners of the chamber. The world outside and the world inside merge into a calm unity, a gentle dance of presence and devotion. The scrolls themselves seem alive with memory. Each one contains stories of the past, wisdom offered softly across centuries. There are tales of hope, of courage, of prayers whispered in the dark. The keeper holds them with care, knowing that in these fragile pages, the heartbeat of the temple continues. You feel this heartbeat now, slow and steady, wrapping around you like a warm, protective cloak. Some scrolls rest on low tables, open just enough to catch the light. Inked symbols shimmer faintly, reflecting the gentle glow of candles. You imagine the hands that wrote these words, moving slowly and deliberately, their intentions flowing into each curve and line. There is a kind of silence here that is full, not empty, a living quiet that holds every act of devotion, every whispered prayer, every gentle breath taken in sacred reverence. Outside, the wind carries the sound of the distant river, soft and slow. Its voice mingles with the faint rustle of parchment and the gentle footfalls of the keeper. Each sound is small yet steady, forming a rhythm that mirrors the temple's calm. You feel your own heartbeat slowing to match this rhythm, each inhale long and tender, each exhale a release of thought, tension, and worry. The keeper moves from shelf to shelf, hands brushing cloth and parchment alike. Each scroll is treated with the same care, each one handled as though it carries the soul of the temple within. You notice how the keeper pauses, tilting their head slightly, reading a few lines and then closing their eyes, as if listening to the words themselves. The air in the chamber hums softly, a gentle vibration that touches the spirit and settles the mind. You drift past an open scroll, where delicate letters form shapes like ripples on water. Light falls across the page, creating soft shadows that seem to move like slow, quiet waves. Each letter, each symbol, is a whisper from the past. You feel them as warmth along your spine, a gentle reassurance that even in the quietest corners of the world, devotion endures. A candle flickers nearby, its flame small but steady. Its golden glow reaches across the chamber, illuminating the keeper's hands, the scrolls, and the worn stone walls. The light seems to bend softly around you, embracing your thoughts and guiding them toward calm. Each flicker is like a heartbeat, rhythmic and quiet, reminding you that serenity can be found in even the smallest gestures. The keeper pauses before a particular scroll, its edges worn, its words faint but alive. They trace the letters with a fingertip, slow and gentle, reading aloud in a whisper that is barely more than a sigh. You feel the sound pass over you, warm and steady, settling in your chest, soothing the mind, quieting the spirit. Outside the window, a small owl stirs, its wings brushing the night air softly. The world itself seems to respond to this calm, bending to the gentle rhythm of devotion within the temple walls. Each scroll has a story, and each story carries its own light. The keeper does not rush. There is no hurry here. Even the act of unrolling a scroll is deliberate, meditative. The eyes linger on the shapes, tracing curves and lines, following the flow of words that have traveled through generations. You feel these words as soft currents passing through your mind, letting each thought drift gently downstream, leaving stillness in its place. In the far corner, a small lamp glows over a table piled with scrolls yet to be read. The flame bends and stretches with the breath of the room, tiny waves of light flowing across the parchment. You watch the movement, slow and soft, feeling the gentle rhythm of temple life infuse you with calm. Even distant noises, the wind, the river, the stir of a leaf outside, seem to join this meditation, becoming part of the same quiet song. A hush falls over the chamber as the keeper sits cross-legged, holding a scroll in their lap. The soft brush of cloth, the gentle scent of parchment, and the flickering light of the lamp combine to form a cocoon of serenity. You sense the slow passing of time here, not measured by hours or minutes, but by the unfolding of devotion, by the careful tending of the sacred, by the quiet heartbeat that continues across generations. The temple beyond the chamber feels vast and calm. You drift past open archways, seeing the soft glow of lamps along corridors, the gentle sway of olive branches in the evening wind, and the distant reflection of stars in a small pool of water. All is still, yet alive with the presence of care, memory, and devotion. You feel yourself becoming part of this quiet flow, drifting easily, held by the gentle pulse of the sacred space. Finally, the keeper places the scroll back upon its shelf, wrapping it in its cloth and letting it rest. The act is small, simple, yet it carries the weight of love and patience. You watch as the lamp beside them flickers one last time, steady and soft, illuminating the sacred chamber with golden warmth. You take a slow, deep breath, feeling the calm settle into every part of you. Let the gentle rhythm of the keeper's hands, the soft glow of lamps, and the quiet presence of the scrolls carry your mind to stillness. Let the soft winds through the temple corridors whisper away the day's concerns. Every flicker of flame, every rustle of parchment, every faint echo of prayer lulls you further into a safe, serene place. Let us drift onward through these quiet chambers, past the guardians of wisdom and the gentle heartbeat of the temple. Rest now, as the scrolls sleep in their soft light, and the stars above return to their places, watching over you with calm, tender eyes. The evening stretches wide and calm over the hills beyond Shiloh. The sky drifts in soft shades of lavender and silver, and the first stars begin to peek through the quiet dusk. You float along a narrow path, where the earth feels soft beneath your feet, carrying you gently toward the edges of the temple grounds. In the distance, faint sounds ripple through the air. Hooves strike the soil softly, voices carry lightly on the wind. These are the echoes of battles far away, distant, softened by space and time. They are not loud, not frightening, but reminders that the world beyond the temple is alive with movement, with human courage, and with the quiet persistence of life. You drift closer to the open terrace, where the soft glow of lamps spills onto worn stone. The air is scented with olive leaves, warm dust, and a hint of smoke curling from an evening lamp. Even as the echoes move across the hills, the temple remains a haven. Its walls are steady, holding space for those who seek calm, those who carry their hearts gently through the uncertainties beyond. A slow wind stirs, carrying the faint clatter of distant metal and the rhythmic beat of hooves. The sound is almost musical, like a faraway drum echoing in a dream. You let it flow through your mind, noticing that each soft note, each distant call, blends into the quiet rhythm of the night. Even the notions of struggle, of conflict, feel softened here, cushioned by the temple's calm presence. You drift through the temple courtyard, past the silent stones that have held the weight of centuries. The walls are still, yet they seem to hum with memory. They have witnessed prayers, whispered hopes, and steady devotion through every passing storm. You imagine the priests moving inside, their hands steady as they light evening lamps and carry the scent of incense across quiet chambers. The heartbeat of the temple continues, undisturbed by distant turmoil. A horse's soft neigh rises from the far fields. You hear it as part of the night's song, blending with the rustle of leaves and the faint murmurs of a small stream nearby. The sound carries no threat, only distance, like a memory brushing the edges of consciousness. Each echo invites you to notice the steadiness within the temple, the gentle rhythm of faith, of care, of quiet presence that endures even when the world moves beyond its walls. You follow the sound of a soft drum, imagining it guiding soldiers across hills and valleys, far from the sanctuary of the temple. Their steps, their voices, their movements carry courage, yet they are distant, cushioned by space and time. You feel no alarm, only a soft curiosity, a tender awareness that life is alive, even far from this sacred place. The temple remains steady, a calm heart in the midst of distant activity. Inside, the corridors are warm with the glow of lamps. Shadows flicker across the walls, long and gentle. You drift past a small chamber where incense curls in lazy spirals, weaving through the air like quiet threads. The scent is soft and grounding, touching your chest with warmth. The echoes from outside reach you here, but they feel distant, like waves moving over a calm lake. The heart of the temple is still, patient, and safe. You move to the edge of the inner courtyard. Here, the grass grows softly between stones, and the light of lamps mingles with the silver of moonlight. The distant sounds of the battlefield rise and fall like gentle waves, yet the air in this courtyard is quiet, embracing, protective. You sense the rhythm of the temple's devotion, steady and unshakable, stretching out to meet the world beyond its walls. A small flock of birds stirs in an olive grove nearby, their wings brushing the night air. They rise slowly, circling above the distant hills, carrying the quiet energy of movement into the darkness. You watch them drift, noting how even the world outside seems to participate in a subtle, gentle rhythm. The temple mirrors this rhythm, holding stillness amidst activity, teaching calm through presence rather than words. The sounds of distant voices reach you faintly, soft as whispers. They speak of preparation, of movement, of life continuing beyond these sacred stones. Each sound blends with the flickering lamplight, the whisper of leaves, the distant trickle of water, forming a lullaby of awareness and serenity. You feel your breath slow, matching the rhythm of distant hooves, the sway of olive branches, and the gentle hum of the temple walls. A small lamp glows near the altar, steady in its light. You drift closer, noticing how the golden glow reflects on the smooth stone, creating soft patterns that move like water. The temple seems to breathe with you, inhaling the distant echoes and exhaling calm. Even the notion of conflict, far away, feels softened, tempered by the warmth and quiet of this sacred space. In one corridor, a priest moves slowly, tracing the lines of stone walls with hands careful and reverent. The soft echoes of battles beyond seem to fade under the weight of devotion here. Each lamp carried, each incense curl lifted, is an act of steady care. You feel the calm pulse of the temple's heartbeat in your chest, a rhythm so soft it blends with the quiet hum of night. You drift toward a small terrace above the courtyard. From here, the view stretches across distant hills, where the faintest light from campfires flickers like tiny stars. Hooves strike the ground in gentle repetition. Voices rise and fall like soft echoes of an ancient song. You watch, but you feel no fear. The temple, with its lamps, its stone, its quiet watchers, remains a sanctuary, a calm heart amidst the distant dance of life. A soft breeze moves through the terrace, ruffling your hair, brushing against the stone railing. It carries the scent of evening air, olive trees, and the faintest trace of incense. Each inhalation brings warmth and calm. Each exhale releases tension, letting the mind rest, letting the spirit settle into the gentle rhythm of the sacred place. Even the echoes of distant struggles feel like part of a lullaby, softened and serene. You watch a lamp flicker in response to the wind, its glow steady yet alive, bending like a gentle wave. The light pools across the stones, brushing against moss and cracks, painting the space with tender golden hues. You feel yourself becoming part of the scene, floating among the gentle movement of light and shadow, wrapped in the quiet heartbeat of devotion. The night deepens. The stars shine steadily, small and distant, but unwavering. Their light reflects faintly in the temple's pools of water, in the polished stones, and in the soft eyes of a perched bird. The echoes of distant clashes continue, but they are distant, muted like a memory folding over itself. Here, in this sacred place, there is only calm, only presence, only the gentle reminder that inner stillness can endure amidst the movement of the world. Finally, you settle on a low stone bench near the inner courtyard. The lamps glow softly around you. The distant hooves fade further into the hills, leaving only a soft, steady rhythm that mirrors the pulse of your own breathing. The temple holds you gently, a haven of light, warmth, and quiet devotion. Let the echoes of distant life remind you not of worry, but of the calm heart that exists within. Let the soft glow of lamps, the gentle sway of olive branches, and the whisper of incense guide your spirit into quiet peace. Every sound, every shadow, every flicker is part of the gentle song of the night. Let us drift onward past the echoes and the hills, carried by the heartbeat of the temple into a serene, restful place. Now rest as the stars return to their places, watching over you with tender, eternal light. The night has settled softly over Shiloh. Moonlight stretches across the temple, silver and tender, brushing the tops of columns and falling like quiet water onto worn stones. You drift along the corridors, past flickering lamps, letting the soft glow guide your steps. The air is still, carrying the faint scent of incense and olive leaves, gentle and grounding. Ahead, the inner sanctum waits, quiet and expectant. Its doorway is shadowed, yet welcoming, framed by soft light that seems to breathe with the temple itself. You move closer, noticing the veil hanging silently within, a delicate curtain of fine threads, swaying only with the softest stir of air. Its presence is calm, almost alive, a gentle guardian of sacred space. The veil glows faintly in the moonlight, golden threads woven with care, shimmering as if each strand holds a whisper of devotion. It separates the sanctum from the outer world, yet invites a quiet reverence. You drift nearer, sensing that beyond it rests the tender presence of the divine, not distant or frightening, but calm, gentle, and patient. Soft winds drift through the open windows, curling around columns and brushing against the veil. The threads sway slowly, casting quiet patterns of light and shadow onto the stone floor. You notice the way the veil seems to respond, bending with intention, moving like a slow wave across still water. Each movement is measured, meditative, a reflection of centuries of care and sacred ritual. In the hush of the sanctum, you hear nothing but the soft rustle of air and the distant echo of night beyond the temple walls. Here, even the faintest sounds feel sacred. You sense the rhythm of the temple, steady and calm, like a heartbeat measured not in hours, but in devotion. The veil is its gentle pulse, a reminder that stillness can exist even amid distant echoes of life and struggle. You drift closer, letting your eyes trace the delicate threads. Each one seems to carry a memory, a whispered prayer, a moment of quiet care from generations past. The veil is not heavy but light, almost weightless, yet its presence is profound. You feel it touch your spirit, soft and steady, a gentle reminder that calm can exist within, no matter the sounds of the world beyond. Soft candlelight flickers near the entrance to the sanctum, the flame bending slightly with the quiet wind. Its golden glow mingles with the silver of moonlight, painting gentle patterns across the veil and the polished stones beneath. You notice how the light seems to breathe, expanding and contracting in rhythm with your own slow, deep breaths. Each inhale carries peace, each exhale releases tension, and the veil sways softly in response. A distant drum beats faintly from the hills beyond, softened by distance. Its rhythm is slow, steady, like the heartbeat of the earth itself. You allow it to blend with the hush of the sanctum, feeling your own heartbeat settle into this gentle cadence. Even the echoes of war far away feel softened here, cushioned by the quiet, tender presence of the sacred veil. The priests move slowly around the outer edges of the sanctum, their robes brushing lightly against the stone. They carry small lamps and cups of incense, their steps deliberate, their gestures measured. Each movement seems to honor the veil, not disturbing it, but flowing alongside it. You notice the rhythm of their devotion, steady and unhurried, a gentle reminder that calm can be maintained even in the presence of preparation or distant challenge. The veil seems almost alive, responding to the soft attention of the temple. It ripples slowly as if breathing, a gentle dance of golden threads in the quiet air. You imagine the hands that wove it, slow and careful, threading devotion into each strand. The veil holds their care, their intention, their patience. You feel these qualities flow toward you, washing over your spirit in soft waves. You drift closer to the center of the sanctum, where the veil hangs in stillness. Beyond it, the altar rests, polished and sacred, holding the memory of countless offerings, prayers, and acts of devotion. You sense the tender presence of the divine here, not distant, not commanding, but gentle, steady, and deeply comforting. The veil does not separate you from this presence, but offers a quiet, sacred pause, a moment to breathe and be held. A soft breeze carries the faint scent of frankincense, weaving through the veil and across the sanctum. The threads sway in response, reflecting golden light in gentle waves. You watch them move, letting your eyes follow the slow rhythm, letting your thoughts drift like leaves on a calm stream. Each flicker of light, each swaying thread, feels like a whispered lullaby for your mind. The sanctum is a space of pause, a haven from the distant echoes of life outside. You feel the weight of quiet settle over your shoulders like a soft shawl. Every sound, every shadow, every shimmer of the veil reminds you of presence and calm. Even the faintest stirrings of the temple, The soft footfalls of a priest, the subtle brush of a curtain, become part of a gentle symphony, lulling your spirit into stillness. A small lamp glows near the base of the veil, its flame steady and warm. You drift closer, noticing how the golden light reflects off the threads, each one seeming to carry a tiny memory of devotion. The veil sways slightly, as if acknowledging your presence, wrapping you in its quiet embrace. You feel the calm of the temple infuse you, a gentle heartbeat that steadies and softens every part of your being. Outside the temple, distant hills are cloaked in night. Soft sounds of life, hooves, wind, rustling leaves drift across the landscape, softened by distance. You notice them but feel no alarm. The veil, the inner sanctum, the steady presence of the temple, all hold a calm that extends inward, reminding you that even amidst distant motion or challenge, serenity can remain. You drift to a small corner of the sanctum, seated softly on a stone bench. The veil hangs before you, golden and quiet, a gentle curtain of light and memory. Each thread, each movement, each flicker of candlelight reminds you that devotion is steady, that presence is protective, that calm can endure. You feel yourself sinking into this quiet rhythm, your breath matching the soft sway of the threads, your heartbeat attuned to the tender pulse of sacred space. A gentle rustle of wind stirs the veil, and you notice how it bends and folds, responding to the softness of the night. The light catches in the threads, shimmering slowly, like distant stars mirrored in a calm pool. Each shimmer feels like a whisper of peace, a small, patient reminder that stillness can exist, even amidst the echoes of the wider world. The priests move quietly in the distance, their voices low, chanting softly, blending with the hush of the night. The incense curls in lazy spirals, reaching toward the ceiling, carrying the scent of devotion and calm. You notice that even the faintest sound, the softest movement, becomes a part of this gentle meditation. Your mind drifts in harmony with the veil, the flame, and the stillness that fills the sacred chamber. Finally, the veil settles into gentle stillness. The light softens, shadows deepen, and the sanctum holds you tenderly in its calm embrace. You feel the rhythm of devotion, the heartbeat of presence, and the warmth of serenity. The veil is a soft guardian, offering protection, quiet, and an invitation to rest. Let your thoughts drift, as threads of golden light sway in the gentle breeze. Let your mind settle into the rhythm of the temple, the soft pulse of lamps, and the tender sway of the veil. The night is calm, the sanctuary is still, and your spirit is cradled in the gentle heartbeat of devotion. Let us drift onward, past the veil, carried by its quiet strength and luminous serenity, into a place of soft rest and deep calm. Now rest, as the stars return to their places above, watching over you with tender, unwavering light. The night embraces the temple grounds in quiet silver. Moonlight pours softly across the stones, pooling in gentle light along the edges of the outer courtyard. A soft breeze stirs, carrying with it the faint scent of olive trees and cooling earth. You drift slowly toward the gentle streams that wind beyond the temple walls, their surfaces smooth and still, mirroring the sky above. The rivers are calm, reflecting stars like scattered lanterns across dark water. Each ripple catches a faint glow, moving slowly, deliberately, as if the river itself breathes. You float alongside the water's edge, noticing the soft swish of currents against smooth stones, and feel a quiet sense of ease settling into your chest. Here, far from the echoes of distant life, the rivers offer a mirror for reflection, a gentle space where thoughts may soften. In the quiet, your gaze follows the flow. The streams carry reflections of the night sky, of temple lamps, and of subtle movements in the surrounding trees. Each shimmer seems to tell a story of human struggles, quiet prayers, and the invisible guidance of the divine. You watch as the water bends light in slow, tender waves, and feel the rhythm of the rivers echoing within your own heartbeat. A soft rustle comes from the reeds along the riverbank. Tiny wings brush the night air, as a bird lifts from its perch and arcs gently above the water. Its reflection dances on the surface, joining the stars in a quiet waltz. You notice how the bird's flight seems measured, patient, almost reverent, as if it too respects the sacred calm of this place. Each movement feels slow and deliberate, encouraging your mind to drift and soften. The rivers carry faint scents of earth, water, and distant incense from the temple. They flow past moss-covered stones and the roots of ancient trees, their surfaces catching flickers of moonlight. As you follow their winding path, you feel a gentle reflection upon your own life, not in judgment, but as a quiet invitation to let go, to allow each ripple to carry away tension and worry. Small fish stir beneath the surface, leaving gentle disturbances in the still water. The ripples expand slowly, reaching outward, blending with the reflected stars, merging past and present into a soft, luminous dance. Each ripple is a gentle reminder of continuity, of cycles, of patience, and of the subtle guidance that moves quietly through every life. You notice your own thoughts, drifting like leaves on the water, soft and unhurried. The river bends beneath a low arch of trees, their branches brushing against each other, creating a canopy that filters the silver light. Shadows play along the water in delicate patterns, forming abstract shapes that sway with the currents. You feel your body relax, your mind letting go of small concerns, each shadow and flicker carrying away tension like gentle, flowing water. A distant owl calls softly from the hills, and the sound echoes across the river. Its voice blends with the soft murmur of flowing water, the subtle rustle of leaves, and the quiet night air. The echoes feel neither abrupt nor sharp. They are waves of sound that fold into the calm, enhancing your sense of gentle stillness. You allow the sound to sink into you, matching it with the rhythm of your breath and the steady flow of the river. The surface of the water shimmers with memories of the temple, reflections of golden lamps, and soft silhouettes of figures moving with measured devotion. You notice how each image bends and stretches with the gentle currents, creating patterns that are never the same twice. There is a softness in this impermanence, a quiet lesson that even reflections shift and change, yet the river continues, steady and faithful. Tiny petals drift on the current, carried from trees that line the riverbanks. They glide effortlessly across the surface, spinning and turning, caught in the slow embrace of water. Each petal feels like a small offering, a soft reminder of beauty and simplicity, of devotion in motion. You watch them float, letting your own mind drift alongside, following the gentle bends and curves of the river. The moonlight deepens as the night unfolds, casting a pale, tender glow across the rippling waters. Each reflection sparkles faintly, like distant stars mirrored in a calm sea. The soft hum of nocturnal life, the rustle of leaves, the distant call of a bird, the subtle movements of creatures beneath the water, forms a lullaby that flows around you, wrapping you in serenity. You reach a small pool where the river widens, and the water seems almost still, like glass. The stars above reflect clearly, each one a tiny pinprick of calm. Here, the currents slow, carrying only soft murmurs of distant streams and the whispers of flowing branches. You feel your thoughts becoming lighter, more fluid, softening with the water as if each ripple carries a small fragment of tension away. A gentle wind brushes across the river, bending reeds and stirring petals. The sound is soft, almost musical, joining the flow of water and the quiet rhythm of your heartbeat. You notice that even the small disturbances, the flicker of light, the ripple of water, the whisper of wind, feel like part of a gentle meditation, inviting you to remain present, to breathe slowly, and to let go. The river leads you beneath an arch of stone, where water glides over smooth rocks in a soft, continuous song. Tiny waterfalls create quiet murmurs, falling like gentle hands brushing against the earth. The sound is rhythmic, soothing, a tender reminder that movement and stillness exist together, each complementing the other, each inviting calm and reflection. You pause at a bend where the water reflects both stars and temple lamps in a shimmering mosaic. Each reflection merges with another, forming intricate patterns of light and shadow. You allow your gaze to linger, letting the mind trace the shapes and the gentle movements. Each wave feels like a soft exhale, each shimmer like a whisper from the divine, carrying calm across your spirit. The river curves gently, leading to a broader expanse where moonlight scatters across the water's surface. Here, the streams of reflection are wide and slow, giving you space to float in thought and stillness. You notice the subtle movement of currents beneath the surface, invisible yet steady, reminding you that even when the world feels calm, life flows patiently and purposefully beneath. Small lanterns float on the river, their soft glow mingling with starlight. They drift slowly, carried by the current, tracing delicate paths across the surface. You watch them move, letting your mind follow, letting your heart soften with each gentle turn. The lanterns feel like messages of peace, illuminating the path of reflection, guiding the spirit toward rest. A soft mist rises from the water, delicate and silvery, curling over the riverbanks. It carries the faint scent of earth and night blooms, wrapping the river in a gentle cloak of calm. You drift through it, feeling the cool, tender touch of mist against your skin, noticing how the world feels quieter, softer, more spacious with each slow breath. The stars above reflect clearly now, mirrored in the rivers like tiny celestial companions. Each light shimmers and dances, creating a rhythm of quiet beauty. The water flows steadily, carrying both light and reflection, offering a meditation in motion. You allow your thoughts to drift alongside the currents, softening into gentle awareness, letting go with each ripple that passes beneath your fingertips. Finally, you rest on a smooth stone by the riverbank. The water flows gently before you, a mirror of night and light, of temple devotion and quiet reflection. You feel the rhythm of the river settle into your chest, slow and steady, carrying with it a deep sense of calm and serenity. Each ripple, each shimmer, each soft whisper of wind is a lullaby for your mind, encouraging gentle rest. Let the rivers carry your thoughts softly, letting each ripple reflect away tension, worry, and the echoes of distant life. Let the shimmering reflections of stars and lamps fill you with gentle light. Your mind drifts, your body relaxes, and your spirit floats with the current of calm. Let us drift onward, along the rivers of reflection, guided by the tender light of stars and temple lamps, into a place of deep serenity. Now rest, as the waters flow quietly on, and the night watches over you with eternal, peaceful light. Night drapes softly over the hills surrounding the temple. Shadows stretch across the ground, delicate and quiet, and the moon pours silver light over the path that leads toward a small, secluded courtyard. There, a lone figure kneels, still and steady, bathed in the soft glow of a single lamp. The air carries the faint scent of burning incense, earthy and calm, drifting gently across the stones. The warrior bows with quiet reverence, the armor light in its weight, polished yet muted under the gentle night. He sits on his heels, hands folded, head bowed, and the soft rustle of fabric is the only movement. Around him, the world is hushed, as if the night itself is leaning in to listen. The temple stands behind him, silent and steadfast, its walls reflecting the glow of distant lamps. Soft winds curl through the courtyard, brushing across the warrior's shoulders and lifting a faint whisper of hair from his brow. Each movement of air feels like a gentle hand, reminding him, and those who watch, that calm can exist even before trials, that devotion carries strength quietly and without sound. The stars above shimmer softly, each one mirrored in the warrior's eyes, carrying the reflection of hope and silent courage. He begins to breathe slowly, deliberately, letting each inhale draw the night in and each exhale release tension. The rhythm is steady, unhurried, a quiet drum beneath the surface of thought. His lips move in soft, almost imperceptible words, a prayer not shouted or demanded, but offered like water poured into a still vessel. The sound blends with the night, harmonizing with rustling leaves and the distant hoot of an owl. The lamp before him flickers, casting gentle shadows on the stone floor. The golden light dances across his hands and the folds of his robe, creating a quiet interplay of light and dark. Each flicker feels like a heartbeat, slow and steady, echoing the pulse of devotion that rises from his soul. You notice the way his fingers curl around the edges of his prayer scroll, holding it with tenderness, as though even objects can share in this quiet sacredness. The courtyard is empty except for the warrior and the soft presence of the temple, yet it does not feel lonely. The night seems to wrap around him, protective and serene, a cradle for courage and gentle hope. Even the distant echo of footsteps or the faint murmurs of wind through the trees feels like part of a soft ritual, joining the prayer rather than disturbing it. He bows lower, touching the stone beneath him, grounding himself in the earth and its patient strength. The stars reflect in small puddles from an earlier rain, creating tiny pools of light scattered across the courtyard. Each reflection seems to hold a memory, a silent witness to the prayers that have been offered here through countless nights. The warrior's voice rises slightly, tender and rhythmic, carrying devotion to these quiet observers. Around him, shadows of the temple stretch long and thin. They lean with the architecture, brushing against the walls and columns, and the gentle wind lifts them like soft whispers. The warrior's presence is steady within these moving shadows, a calm amidst the silent dance of light and dark. His breath matches the sway of the shadows, rising and falling slowly, carrying with it the unspoken courage that flows from inner stillness. He lifts his head slightly, letting his eyes trace the outline of the distant hills. The moonlight paints them in silver, softening edges and creating gentle valleys of light and shade. The warrior imagines the paths ahead, the unseen challenges and quiet victories. Each thought passes like a leaf on the stream, moving with the current rather than resisting it. There is a stillness in this acceptance, a soft, quiet hope that fills the night air. The scent of incense curls upward in lazy spirals, soft and sweet, mingling with the crisp night air. Each wisp seems to carry a prayer, a gentle offering floating toward the unseen presence beyond the veil of the temple. You notice how even the smallest movement of smoke can feel like a lullaby, slow and steady, guiding attention inward and fostering quiet reflection. The warrior closes his eyes and bows again, letting the quiet presence of the divine settle around him. His hands rest on his knees, open and receptive, palms up. The armor, the weight of responsibility, the distant echoes of preparation, all melt into the stillness, leaving only the gentle hum of devotion. You feel the calm of this ritual flowing outward, as if each breath carries a blessing for anyone who watches or listens. A soft rustling comes from the olive trees lining the courtyard. Leaves stir gently, brushing against each other with quiet whispers. It feels as though the night itself is responding to the prayer, acknowledging it with soft movement rather than noise. The warrior's lips part slightly, and another gentle utterance rises, steady and measured, not loud, but imbued with care. Moonlight drifts across the courtyard like silver water. Shadows stretch and fold across the stones and the folds of his robes, blending into a tender, rhythmic tapestry. You notice how each flicker of light seems synchronized with the rise and fall of his breath, as if the universe itself bends softly to this moment of quiet courage. Even the air seems stiller here, holding its breath in reverence. The prayer flows slowly, each word carrying weight without urgency. It speaks of protection, not as a command, but as a gentle request, of courage, not as a demand, but as a quiet flame, of hope, not as expectation, but as soft light in the night. You feel the meaning not in sharp definitions, but in the subtle warmth of intention, like sunlight filtered through thin leaves. He kneels longer, letting the words drift outward and fade into silence. Each pause between breaths feels like a small offering, an acknowledgement of calm, of trust, of surrender. The world outside, the preparation for battle, the distant calls and clatter, seems far away, softened by the sacred hush of this moment. You notice how this quiet space carries strength as much as stillness, holding courage gently rather than forcing it. The lamp flickers once more, casting a final glow across the courtyard. You watch the shadows fold together, softening around the warrior, holding him in quiet embrace. Each star above is mirrored in his steady eyes, reflecting not fear but gentle hope, patience, and quiet courage. The temple behind him, the soft earth beneath, the delicate winds brushing through the air, all seem to conspire in calm devotion. Finally, he bows his head, letting the prayer settle into silence. The night absorbs the words, carrying them softly across the hills, across the rivers, across spaces beyond sight. You notice the deep calm that follows, a quiet stillness that lingers in the bones, in the heart, and in the mind. The warrior remains kneeling, steady, serene, an anchor in the soft, enveloping night. The moon dips slightly, silver light bathing the courtyard, soft and tender. The stars shimmer in the distance, mirrored in the puddles and small streams around the courtyard. You feel the peace of this scene, the gentle strength of devotion, and the calm courage that rises quietly in the heart. The warrior's prayer is not loud, but it carries profoundly, as if the quiet itself holds the power of 1,000 whispered blessings. Let your thoughts drift with the flickering lamps and the silvered stones. Let your mind soften, your breath slow, and your heart settle with the quiet rhythm of devotion. The courtyard is still, the night is gentle, and courage exists in tender, unspoken ways. Let us drift onward, carried by the quiet strength of prayers and the soft light of the temple. Now rest as the stars watch over you, and the night enfolds you in gentle, unwavering calm. The temple stands in quiet repose beneath a sky brushed with fatting twilight. Soft winds wander through open courtyards, carrying the gentle scent of burning incense and aged stone. You drift slowly along a narrow corridor, where the faint glow of torches flickers across the walls. The light dances lazily, revealing the entrance to the armory, a sacred space filled with history and stillness. As you step inside, the warmth of the torches wraps around you, gentle and inviting. Each flame casts its soft light upon the polished surfaces of ancient weapons, their forms resting patiently on wooden racks. The room is hushed, holding a quiet reverence, as though even the swords, spears, and shields know the weight of the devotion that shaped them. The air smells faintly of oil, iron, and old wood, mingling with the subtle aroma of the temple's incense drifting in from nearby chambers. You breathe slowly, letting the calm sink deeper with every inhale and exhale. Each movement through the armory is deliberate and soft, a meditation in motion. The glow of torches catches the edges of armor, illuminating engraved symbols, patterns, and the gentle curves of blades that once held purpose and honor. You move closer to a long row of spears, their tips sharp yet serene, glimmering in the torchlight. You notice how the metal seems to hold memories, not of battles fought loudly, but of quiet determination, careful practice, and disciplined preparation. Each spear rests at ease, aligned in perfect order, as if waiting patiently for the next act of devoted service. Along the walls, shields are mounted like silent sentinels, polished yet mellowed by the passing of years. They bear faint scratches and the soft imprint of hands that once carried them, reminders of responsibility and courage exercised gently, without boast. You sense the calm focus that tempered warriors of old, the stillness beneath their readiness, the patience woven into their every act. A soft clink echoes from a distant corner, where a sword leans lightly against a rack. The sound is gentle, not alarming, blending with the quiet murmur of torches and the distant whisper of wind through open windows. You watch the sword, long and slender, noticing its shape and weight. Its presence feels protective, like a quiet guardian watching over the space. You imagine the hands that held it, steady and sure, moving slowly and with purpose, guided by devotion rather than impulse. The torches cast dancing patterns across the floor, revealing the subtle details of each weapon. Engraved runes, faint inscriptions, and delicate etchings glimmer briefly before fading into soft shadow. You pause to notice these small markings, imagining the prayers or blessings that may have been whispered over them, the quiet intentions embedded in the metal. Every blade, every helm, every piece of armor carries a story of preparation, patience, and inner calm. Soft carpets cover the floor near the entrance, muffling footsteps and adding to the stillness. You walk slowly along the rows, your fingers brushing lightly over the hilts of swords, feeling the warmth of the torches reflected in the metal. Each touch feels tender, a gentle acknowledgement of history and dedication. Even the smallest contact seems to hum with a quiet presence, as though the armory itself breathes softly with the memory of those who came before. In the far corner, a small table holds ritual items, polishing cloths, incense, and a single lamp casting steady golden light. The scene feels like a moment suspended in time. You notice how the preparation of tools mirrors preparation of the mind, the devotion that precedes action, the calm attention that guides strength. Each object in this corner seems to whisper patience, quiet service, and gentle vigilance. The shields along the walls are wide and strong, yet you notice the way they rest lightly, not heavy or oppressive. They seem to embody protection without aggression, calm without tension. You imagine the warriors of old kneeling before the armory, hands hovering over these tools with reverence. The quiet focus of those moments is palpable, a soft energy that lingers in the air, inviting your own mind to slow and settle. A torch flickers slightly, and the shadows of the weapons shift and bend. For a moment, a spear appears to glide across the wall, a soft dance of metal and light. You watch it without rush, noticing the way each movement is gentle, deliberate, almost meditative. The room itself feels alive, not in noise or action, but in the still presence of devotion and care. Long wooden racks hold helmets, each one shaped with careful hands, polished yet softened by time. You approach a helmet, noticing the intricate lines, the subtle curves that speak of both protection and artistry. Its interior is empty yet full of memory, a space that once held steady eyes and calm breath. You sense the quiet courage it absorbed, the patient readiness, the steady heart that rested within its hollow form. The torches cast their glow upon a long table, where a row of small ritual blades lie side by side. Each one is small, unassuming, yet carefully balanced. You imagine them in soft hands, moved slowly, gently, with mindfulness and purpose. The air in the armory feels thick with quiet intention, each item reflecting centuries of devotion and careful practice. A gentle breeze moves through a slightly open window, rustling the edge of a tapestry hanging near the entrance. The fabric stirs softly, and the movement of shadows and torchlight feels like a breath, like the armory itself is inhaling and exhaling slowly. You let your own breath match this rhythm, feeling peace seep into every muscle, every thought. You pause before a shield engraved with a faint, intricate pattern. The design seems to shimmer in the torchlight, delicate and subtle. You imagine the hand that polished it, the quiet attention it took to maintain, the gentle reverence that passed from one caretaker to another. Each ripple of metal and shadow feels like a soft echo of patience, of strength guided by calm, of courage expressed gently. The armory is vast yet intimate, filled with the still presence of countless warriors who came before. You feel their quiet focus, their measured breaths, their calm hearts. The air seems thick with this soft strength, and you sense that courage is not loud or hurried, but steady and enduring, like the glow of a torch that burns evenly in the night. A soft chime rings from a distant corner, a bell perhaps signaling the passing of time or the end of a quiet ritual. The sound is clear yet tender, echoing lightly through the armory and mingling with the flicker of torchlight and the rustle of wind. You notice how even sound can carry calm, how quiet moments can speak volumes without urgency or demand. You walk slowly toward the exit, letting your eyes linger on the rows of weapons and armor one last time. Each piece seems to hold its own story, a memory of devotion and practice, patience and care. You feel the calm determination that once guided warriors as a soft current beneath the quiet surface of the armory. It is a strength that does not rush, a courage that does not shout, a presence that simply exists in stillness. As you step back into the open corridor, the warmth of the torches recedes gently, leaving you with the lingering calm of the sacred space. The night beyond awaits, silver and soft, carrying the memory of steady hands, calm hearts, and quiet courage. The armory remains behind you, a sanctuary of reflection and patience, a gentle reminder that preparation and devotion are acts of love expressed in stillness. Let your own heart absorb the steady rhythm of the armory, the quiet strength that flows through each weapon and piece of armor. Let your breath match the gentle rise and fall of torchlight shadows. Feel the calm determination that tempers courage, the quiet attention that steadies the spirit, and the serene presence that lingers in sacred spaces. Let us drift onward, carried by the warmth of torches, the calm of ancient preparation, and the gentle memory of devoted hands. Now rest, as the armory's quiet strength settles softly in your mind, and the night watches over you in tender, unwavering calm. The night drapes itself gently over the city of Jerusalem. Its walls, ancient and steadfast, shimmer in the soft glow of moonlight, each stone holding centuries of quiet memory. The streets are hushed, still with the calm of evening, and a tender breeze carries the faint scent of olive trees and distant incense. You float slowly above the city, where the stars shine generously, like scattered pearls on a dark velvet cloth. The air is soft, warm in some places, cooler in others, and each breath draws in peace while letting go of tension. The lamps of the city twinkle faintly, reflecting a gentle dance alongside the stars above. You notice the quiet rhythm of life here, the soft rustle of fabric, the distant steps of those tending lamps, the gentle flicker of candlelight through small windows. Even the walls seem to breathe slowly, in time with the universe. High above, stars shimmer like watchful eyes, each one guiding quietly, patiently across the sleeping city. Their light is not harsh, but tender, falling softly upon rooftops and courtyards. The priests moving along the temple steps below are bathed in this gentle illumination, their shadows stretching long and serene. Their movements are slow, deliberate, as if the stars themselves are urging a steady, calm pace. You drift closer to the temple's outer court. The torches here burn golden, but it is the stars that dominate the sky, a soft canopy of quiet light. Each flame is mirrored by a pinprick of silver above, and the combination creates a tender harmony of heaven and earth. You notice the priest's hands, raised in gentle gestures, the slow turning of sacred scrolls, the soft murmur of prayers whispered into the cool night. A distant soldier walks the ramparts, his armor catching the torchlight, yet not disturbing the calm. Even the presence of vigilance does not bring tension. Each footstep is measured, careful, a rhythm matching the pulse of the city and the stars above. The soldiers pause to look skyward, and you imagine the quiet prayers that rise with each gaze, prayers not of fear, but of hope, courage, and gentle protection. The city feels suspended between time and eternity, a place where the past hums softly beneath the present. You notice the winding paths, the gentle rise of hills, the river reflecting silver moonlight, and the way the stars sprinkle light across water and stone alike. Every detail is a quiet meditation, an invitation to slow your thoughts, soften your breath, and drift gently inward. The stars above Jerusalem seem almost alive. Some shimmer with a pale blue, others with the softest gold. You imagine them as guardians, watching over the city and its people, listening silently to prayers and hopes. Each flicker is like a heartbeat, slow and steady, guiding both soldiers and priests alike. You float above them, feeling the rhythm of devotion and calm courage blending with the serene night. Below, in narrow alleys and courtyards, a few flickering lamps mark quiet passageways. The soft glow reflects in puddles left from an earlier rain, creating tiny mirrors of light that ripple gently with every whisper of wind. You notice how even the smallest reflections seem to carry peace, amplifying the stillness of the city. There is no hurry here, no demand, only gentle observation and quiet intention. The priests make their way through the temple corridors, moving like soft waves of devotion. Their hands lift sacred objects with reverence, their lips barely moving as they chant gentle prayers. You hear the cadence of their voices, low and rhythmic, mingling with the faint night breeze. The words are not hurried or loud. They flow slowly, carrying calm into the air, soft enough to soothe even the most restless thoughts. A gentle wind brushes across the rooftops, lifting the edge of a small tapestry on a balcony. Its movement is almost imperceptible, but it adds life to the quiet night. Shadows stretch and fold, dancing slowly across walls and floors, echoing the rhythm of stars above. The city seems alive with gentle motion, yet the motion is unhurried, soft, as if every breath taken here is in harmony with the heavens. From the temple's highest point, you notice the priests raising small lanterns. Their golden light twinkles like the stars themselves, creating a tender mirror between earth and sky. Each flame seems to reach upward, a quiet gesture of connection, of devotion mirrored by the universe. You imagine the prayers carried with each flicker of light, joining with the whispers of wind and the soft gleam of stars above. Even the soldiers on the walls pause to look skyward. Their helmets catch starlight as they tilt their heads, eyes reflecting a calm determination. They are not hurried, not anxious, but steady, filled with gentle hope. The city beneath them breathes with their rhythm, soft and deliberate, a shared quietude of protection and care. You drift further, moving over the quiet gardens where olive trees sway in soft rhythm. Each leaf glimmers under the moon, catching the silver light in delicate patterns. The priests walk among them, hands brushing lightly over branches, murmuring blessings into the night air. The gentle energy of these spaces is almost tangible, as if every movement, every breath, every whisper contributes to the serene pulse of Jerusalem beneath the stars. The stars seem to mirror human intention, every flicker a quiet acknowledgement of courage, patience, and devotion. Soldiers kneel softly by their torches, lifting hands in silent prayers. Priests carry scrolls with tender care, reading words that echo softly into the night. You feel how every small act, repeated and intentional, weaves a calm energy throughout the city, connecting the earth below with the heavens above. A soft echo drifts from the distant city gates, a gentle call almost like a lullaby. It blends with the rustle of leaves, the faint splash of the river, and the distant chime of a bell. Each sound is delicate, never startling, forming a layered harmony of peace. You notice your own breath matching the rhythm of the city, slow and steady, as if the night itself teaches the pulse of calm. The stars above seem to sway lightly in the cool night, each movement subtle, almost imperceptible. You feel their presence not as bright or overwhelming, but soft, tender, and protective. They remind you that even in the midst of duty, vigilance, and preparation, there is space for serenity, for gentle awareness, for rest. The lamps along the temple walkways flicker once more, casting long, soft shadows. You watch as they illuminate carved stone, moss-lined steps, and quiet corners where prayers have been left in stillness. The city is a tapestry of light and shadow, of soft movements and gentle pauses. Each element works together to create a calm, nurturing rhythm, guiding your mind into stillness. You imagine yourself walking along the quiet streets, feeling the stones beneath your feet and the soft air brushing your face. Every step is a meditation, every breath a gentle lullaby. The night encourages reflection, allowing your thoughts to drift like clouds across the sky, carried by gentle winds above and the steady glow of countless stars. High above, the Milky Way stretches across the sky, a soft river of silver light. The stars seem to guide both hearts and footsteps, their calm shimmer a reminder of enduring presence and quiet protection. Soldiers, priests, and all who dwell below share in this tender illumination, finding courage and serenity woven together, silent yet profound. As you float above, the city beneath you hums softly with life and devotion. Every whisper of wind, flicker of flame, and glimmer of starlight contributes to a gentle, encompassing stillness. The night sky over Jerusalem is not empty, but alive with quiet guidance, soft watchfulness, and enduring peace. Let your own breath match the calm of the stars. The steady pulse of the city, the soft rhythm of prayers and lanterns. Feel the gentle courage of soldiers, the serene devotion of priests, and the soft light of countless stars bathing the city in calm. Let your heart soften, your thoughts settle, and your mind drift into gentle stillness. Let us drift onward, carried by the serene glow of stars and lanterns, the gentle rhythm of devotion, and the quiet energy of Jerusalem at night. Now rest as the sky embraces the city and the stars watch over you with tender, unwavering calm. The night has softened over Jerusalem, and a tender calm flows through the temple courtyards. Lanterns flicker gently, casting warm halos across worn stone, while the moon drapes silver across the rooftops. The city sleeps lightly beneath the quiet sky, and above it, stars glimmer like gentle whispers, each one a soft reminder of continuity and peace. Inside the temple, the air is filled with stillness, yet a current of expectation moves quietly through the halls. You drift softly past the great entrance, where the carved doors, worn smooth by countless hands, breathe the stories of ages. Here in these sacred spaces, the Levites prepare, their movements slow, deliberate, and serene. Each breath they take is measured, each step a gentle rhythm, and their presence alone brings a sense of quiet reassurance. The Levites lift their voices, one by one, and the sound rises like a gentle tide. The first notes are soft, almost a whisper, curling along the stone walls, wrapping around columns and spilling into the quiet corridors. Their singing is not hurried, not loud, but steady and calm. Each tone carries the weight of devotion and the lightness of hope, filling the air with a soothing melody that moves like water through the temple. You float among them, feeling the vibrations in the air, soft and delicate. The music seems to touch every corner, reaching the smallest alcoves where incense smoke swirls lazily. The notes settle into the air, creating a tender embrace that calms your mind and eases the rhythm of your heart. Each voice blends with the others, forming a gentle chorus that is both ancient and immediate, timeless yet intimate. As the melody flows, you notice the gentle sway of the Levites' movements. Hands rise and fall with the music, fingers tracing patterns in the air, soft as petals falling upon still water. Their feet shift slowly, a subtle dance of devotion that echoes the gentle rhythm of the song. You feel the serenity of their motions, the patience woven into each gesture, and your own body softens, aligning with the quiet harmony that surrounds you. The words they sing are old and sacred, carried lightly across centuries. They are prayers that have floated through countless nights, prayers of gratitude, protection, and gentle hope. You hear them as if they were your own thoughts, each syllable a soft caress, reminding you of calm strength, the enduring presence of something larger, tender, and watchful. The air itself seems to carry these sounds, allowing them to linger in every shadow, every corner, every stone. The temple lamps flicker in rhythm with the song, their warm glow rising and falling like the gentle swell of a quiet sea. Their light catches the edges of the scrolls, the polished wood of the benches, the delicate carvings along the columns. The song moves across these objects, softening them, lending a sense of reverence and peace that stretches into every hidden crevice. You notice the shadows bending, stretching, and bowing gently, as if the temple itself is listening and responding to the melody. Outside, a breeze flows through open windows and courtyards. It carries faint scents of frankincense, olive, and dew-damp stone. Each gentle gust seems to mingle with the song, lifting notes like feathers into the night, carrying them farther across the temple and the quiet city beyond. You float along with the air, feeling the tender movement, the soft touch of wind on skin, the way it weaves music and scent into a lullaby of stone, sky, and spirit. The Levites' voices rise together in a chorus, soft but luminous. Each note folds into the next, a series of gentle arches, like waves moving through a still lake. The music tells stories without words, conveying the quiet courage of generations, the patient care of those who built and preserved these walls, and the calm devotion that flows like a hidden river beneath the city. You feel the presence of this history without strain, like a soft light shining in the corners of your mind. Through the arches of the temple, the music reaches every space. It curls along corridors, into alcoves where statues and sacred vessels rest silently. Even the stones seem to hum in response, each one absorbing a portion of the song, then releasing it again in tender echo. You notice how everything participates in this harmony: the walls, the air, the lamps, and the gentle sway of the Levites' robes. Every element resonates with the same slow, breathing rhythm. The The song carries a gentle message, not of urgency or demand, but of calm vigilance. Soldiers stationed on the outer walls pause to listen, their armor catching the soft lantern glow. Even in preparation for duty, their movements slow, their breath deepens, and their thoughts soften. The music does not call them away from their task, but invites a quiet awareness, a gentle courage, a patient heart. A delicate silence follows each phrase, a pause that stretches and lingers, allowing the echoes to settle. In that space, you feel a soft reflection, the way water mirrors sky in still pools. The temple becomes a mirror for the soul, the music flowing across your consciousness like gentle ripples, coaxing tensions to dissolve and welcoming peace into every hidden place. Each note leaves a trail of calm, each pause a space for rest. The Levites' hands continue their subtle gestures, moving slowly in patterns that echo the song. Their fingertips barely brush the scrolls, touch the columns, lift and release. It is a meditation in motion, a physical hymn that mirrors the music itself. You drift alongside these gestures, sensing the soft energy that moves from hand to hand, from heart to heart, from stone to air. The temple itself feels alive, breathing with each note, each movement, each soft exhale of wind and sound. The melody changes, not in haste, but with gentle evolution. New tones rise softly, weaving warmth and light into the existing song. The voices overlap in tender harmonies, like threads in a delicate tapestry, and the song spreads across your mind like soft moonlight over the city. You notice your own heartbeat slowing, aligning with the rhythm of devotion and the tender pulse of music. Outside, the stars continue their watchful shimmer. Their quiet light blends with the lantern's glow, and the song of the Levites seems to rise and meet them. The night becomes a cradle, a soft and endless space where earth and sky, sound and silence, devotion and rest, all blend into a gentle whole. You feel the universe holding the temple, the city, the Levites, and yourself in one tender embrace. Time stretches softly. Each measure of the music seems to fold into the next, infinite and peaceful. You notice your thoughts, once scattered, now floating quietly like leaves on a slow-moving river. You are neither hurried nor tense. You simply are, absorbed into the gentle rhythm of song and light, of wind and shadow, of devotion and stillness. The Levites' voices finally soften, tapering like the slow retreat of waves from a shore. The notes linger in the air, a delicate echo that folds back into stone and silence. You feel the temple resting, the city quieting, and your own spirit sinking gently into a calm space, warmed by the quiet, tender energy that surrounds you. The lamps flicker once more, catching on the edges of the scrolls and columns, then settle into steady, soft pools of light. The Levites bow their heads, their hands resting softly at their sides, and the music dissolves into a gentle hum of the night. The stars above Jerusalem continue their quiet shimmer, steady and unwavering, a soft canopy of serenity stretching across the sky. Let your breath match the slow cadence of the temple, the steady pulse of the night, the soft shimmer of starlight above. Feel the gentle courage, devotion, and calm that flow from the Levites' song, carrying you toward a place of deep rest. Allow every thought to drift, every worry to soften, every breath to become a lullaby of stillness. Now let us drift onward, carried on the tender currents of melody, light, and quiet devotion. Rest in the knowledge that the night holds you, that the stars watch over you, and that the sacred song of Jerusalem has found a home within your heart. Night drapes its gentle cloak across the hills surrounding Jerusalem. Soft shadows stretch from the ancient olive trees, their twisted branches moving ever so slightly in the quiet evening breeze. The air is cool, carrying the scent of earth and leaves, a quiet perfume that soothes the spirit and quiets the mind. You float through this stillness, each step soft upon the dampened earth, each breath deep and unhurried. The grove is alive with subtle motion. Leaves whisper against one another, a soft rustle that carries like a lullaby through the night. The trees, old and steadfast, sway slowly, their gnarled roots hidden beneath the soil, anchoring centuries of devotion. Between the branches, glimpses of the starry sky shimmer like tiny lanterns placed carefully by unseen hands. These lights, gentle and unwavering, reflect the calm endurance of those who came before, their presence a steady comfort in the quiet darkness. Amid the grove, small figures kneel in silence. They are the faithful, the guardians of devotion, holding vigils beneath the open sky. Each person sits or kneels with measured stillness, their hands folded, their gaze lifted, and their hearts attuned to the soft rhythm of night. The faintest murmur of prayer rises from their lips, barely audible, yet it flows through the grove like a gentle stream, mingling with the breeze, touching each leaf and branch, each stone and root. The scent of olive leaves mingles with a subtle hint of incense, carried from the distant temple. It drifts across the grove, wrapping the faithful in a delicate warmth. The aroma feels like a soft hand resting upon the shoulder, steadying the mind and quieting restless thoughts. You drift closer, and the hush of whispered prayers becomes part of your own breath, each word a delicate thread weaving peace into your spirit. A small lantern swings gently from a low branch, its flame flickering, casting tiny dancing shadows across the grove. The light traces the contours of the tree trunks, following the twisting patterns of bark and branch. You notice how each shadow leans and bends in harmony with the movement of the flame, and the grove itself seems to breathe with the rhythm of the vigil. There is no rush here, no urgency, only the slow pulse of devotion and quiet attentiveness. The prayer of one rises a little more clearly, a soft note carried by the wind. It speaks of gratitude, of hope, of courage. Another joins, and then another, forming a delicate chorus that flows without effort. You feel these prayers like a gentle tide, washing softly over your heart. Each syllable moves like a feather across your consciousness, urging your mind to relax, your muscles to soften, your thoughts to dissolve into a calm, steady current. The olive trees bend slightly in the breeze, their leaves whispering secrets of endurance and patience. Each tree seems to hold memory within its twisted trunk, holding centuries of witness to both joy and struggle. The vigils beneath them honor that memory, and you feel the continuity of devotion in the quiet rhythm of hands folded and heads bowed. There is a serenity here that seems almost sacred, a calm that touches the corners of your mind and invites you to let go of lingering tension. A distant owl calls softly, a note of night moving across the hills. Its voice is neither loud nor jarring, but blends seamlessly with the murmur of prayers and the sighing of leaves. You notice the rhythm of life continuing even in the stillness, a small fox moving quietly among the roots, the slow heartbeat of the earth beneath, the subtle movement of stars shifting gently across the sky. All of it participates in the vigil, a slow symphony of presence, patience, and peace. The participants in the vigil occasionally lift small clay lamps, their flames joining the lantern above. The glow touches the faces of those present, illuminating gentle expressions of reflection and devotion. You drift among them, feeling the warmth of their calm, sensing the quiet courage that comes from offering one's heart in humble attention. Their vigil is not a performance, but a soft alignment with the natural rhythm of night, a quiet offering that requires nothing but presence. Between moments of prayer, the grove is filled with a gentle silence. In this quiet, you can hear the small sounds of life, the soft brush of leaves, the distant call of night birds, the slow, deliberate breathing of those who kneel. Each sound is a note in a peaceful symphony, each pause a space for reflection and gentle awareness. You find your own breath aligning with these sounds, slow and unhurried, each exhale releasing tension, each inhale filling you with the stillness of the grove. The wind shifts slightly, and a cascade of leaves brushes softly against the ground. You notice how even the smallest movements feel significant here, each leaf a delicate instrument adding to the music of night. The prayers continue, soft and unwavering, flowing like a hidden river through the grove. They carry the essence of hope, devotion, and inner strength. You feel the resonance of these prayers settling within you, a subtle warmth that spreads slowly through your chest, releasing worry and inviting calm. A figure rises slowly from their kneeling position, moving gently among the others, adjusting a small lantern here, offering water there. The motion is deliberate, careful, and gentle. You notice the kindness in every gesture, the attention paid to each small detail, the soft acknowledgement of others' presence. These simple acts, performed with quiet mindfulness, echo the essence of the vigil: patience, care, and the cultivation of peace. The olive grove seems to pulse in response. The earth beneath, the trees above, the stars overhead, and the wind weaving through all create a subtle harmony. You drift with this harmony, letting each note of sound, scent, and motion carry you further into a state of calm awareness. The night stretches slowly, endlessly, a gentle continuum in which the vigil continues, and you become part of its quiet rhythm. The candles and lanterns flicker in a steady, rhythmic glow. Their light stretches across the grove in delicate waves, touching the rough bark of trees, the gentle folds of cloaks, and the serene faces of those kneeling. You notice how light and shadow intertwine here, not as contrast but as companions, each softening the other, creating a tender balance that mirrors the quiet vigilance of the night. Occasionally, a soft note rises from the grove, a whispered prayer that lingers longer than expected, drifting lazily through the trees. You feel these prayers as gentle encouragements, reminding the mind and heart to slow, to soften, and to rest. You drift with them, each word a gentle brush against the surface of awareness, each pause a small sanctuary where nothing is demanded, nothing is hurried, only calmness flows. Time seems suspended. You notice your heartbeat, slow and steady, in harmony with the grove. The wind, the leaves, the soft murmur of prayers, all merge into a gentle cadence. You feel each pulse as a reminder of your own quiet strength, each exhale a release of lingering tension, each inhale a renewal of serenity. The grove becomes a vessel, holding your spirit in gentle embrace, offering a refuge from thought and worry. The vigil reaches no conclusion. It simply continues in its gentle unfolding. Each person's devotion, each flickering flame, each whisper of wind and leaf, all interweave into a continuous tapestry of calm. You rest in this tapestry, your body and mind aligning with its softness, your spirit touched by the enduring patience and quiet attention that permeate the olive grove. Let the scent of olive leaves, the hush of night, and the gentle murmur of prayers guide your awareness inward. Let your breath move slowly with the rhythm of the vigil, each exhale a tender release, each inhale a soft replenishment. Feel the calm deepen, settling in every corner of your mind and body, like water flowing gently into a hidden pool. Now rest, as the stars return to their watch over the hills, as the trees sway softly in the night breeze, and as the prayers of the faithful rise like gentle incense through the darkness. Let the olive grove hold you, its quiet vigilance a lullaby of peace and presence, carrying you effortlessly toward calm dreams and gentle sleep. The evening sky is soft, fading gently from gold to deep indigo. Stars begin to appear, tiny points of silver light that shimmer slowly, like distant lanterns in a calm sea. You float toward the temple, its walls bathed in the gentle glow of lanterns and candles. Each stone, worn smooth by centuries, holds quiet stories, whispered memories pressed into its surface by time and devotion. The air is still, carrying faint fragrances of incense and moss, each scent a soft companion to the quiet rhythm of the night. As you step closer, the walls seem to breathe, carrying echoes of footsteps long past, the soft rustle of robes, the faint laughter and sighs of those who have wandered these halls. Their presence lingers not as disturbance but as gentle resonance, a tender reminder that history is alive in stillness. You drift along the first stretch of wall, feeling the warmth of its stones beneath your fingertips, each one a small vessel of memory, each one offering calm. Faint carvings emerge in the flickering light, depicting warriors and priests, humble villagers and devoted scribes. Their faces are serene, captured in quiet dignity. You notice the lines etched deep in the stone, each groove a story of courage, of patience, of surrender. There is no urgency here. Each tale unfolds slowly, like petals opening in twilight, inviting the mind to pause and rest. A soft wind slips through an open window, brushing against the walls, and the shadows of carved figures sway gently. Their movements are subtle, rhythmic, almost like the slow pulse of a heartbeat. You feel your own chest soften, your breath aligning with the rhythm of the stones, the flickering lights, and the night itself. The temple holds these memories tenderly, and in their embrace, you begin to let go of any lingering tension. Along the corridor, a mosaic glimmers faintly, small pieces of colored stone catching candlelight. Scenes of harvest, of rivers flowing, of children playing quietly near the temple steps. Each shard reflects a fragment of life, and as you gaze, you imagine the hands that placed them carefully, the quiet devotion it took to assemble them. There is a gentle courage in these acts, a quiet persistence, and you feel it seep into your heart, softening it, calming it. The distant sound of a bell drifts through the air, soft and slow, each toll carrying a whisper of history. You sense that the walls remember each note, each vibration, storing it in the deep quiet of stone and shadow. They do not judge or forget. They simply hold like a cradle for the experiences of those who walked before. You drift further, letting the bell's gentle resonance echo within your own chest, filling you with stillness. You come to a section of wall where the stone is smooth and darkened with age. Faint etchings depict a procession, figures moving slowly, carrying offerings, their heads bowed in humility. There is no haste, only devotion. You follow their path with your eyes, your mind moving with theirs, and you feel the steady calm of purpose, the soft courage of silent dedication. Each step they take seems to melt away the lingering noise of the outside world, leaving only peace. A single candle rests in a nearby alcove, its flame flickering gently. You notice how the light caresses the carvings, illuminating details that might otherwise go unnoticed. The curve of a hand, the soft bend of a knee, the tender gesture of an offering. Each detail becomes a lesson in gentle care, a reminder that even small acts of devotion carry weight and meaning. Your breath slows, drawn into harmony with the quiet illumination, your body sinking deeper into the calm embrace of the temple. The walls themselves seem to hum softly, a subtle vibration, a resonance felt more than heard. It is as though the memories pressed into stone exhale slowly, releasing centuries of quiet strength and gentle courage. You feel this vibration move through your limbs, easing tension, filling you with the tender assurance that all is well. Here, in the presence of these walls, time itself softens and you float, weightless and serene. Faintly, you hear the sound of water trickling in a distant courtyard, the gentle rhythm of a small fountain or stream. It mingles with the soft echoes of past chants, past footsteps, past prayers. You imagine the hands that drew water, the lips that whispered blessings, the eyes that watched over the temple with care. Each sound merges with the others, forming a river of memory that flows slowly, carrying you toward deeper stillness. Along another stretch, the wall bears marks of celebration, figures dancing quietly, flames reflecting in their eyes, the curves of their garments etched with care. You imagine the joy that once moved through these halls, subtle and contained, a quiet triumph that leaves no clamor but lingers softly in stone. You feel it brush against your own heart, a tender reminder that even in times of calm, life and courage flourish quietly, without need for recognition or applause. The temple air feels cooler here, shaded by time, yet the warmth of candlelight remains. You notice tiny cracks in the walls, each one a trace of storms weathered, of seasons past. But the temple stands, steadfast and patient, holding all that has come and all that will come. Each crack is a gentle testament to resilience, to the enduring nature of courage softened by wisdom and patience. You feel your own spirit relax into this knowledge, carried gently on the currents of history. The carvings shift now to depictions of scholars, scribes, and healers. Their hands trace symbols and letters, their gaze is tender, focused on tasks of care and preservation. You sense the quiet pride in these acts, the subtle courage in choosing devotion over haste, patience over urgency. You drift alongside them, your breath slow, and even your mind softening as you witness the gentle unfolding of centuries of quiet effort. Candles flicker in hidden alcoves, each flame small but unwavering. Their light stretches across the stone, illuminating shadowed corners, touching carvings that had remained unseen for long hours. You notice the reflection of these lights in your own eyes, soft and warm, carrying a calm courage that seems to seep into every corner of your mind. The walls, the candles, the soft air, they form a sanctuary, a cradle for gentle contemplation. You pause at a mural depicting a river, flowing calmly through hills and valleys. Figures gather along its banks, some kneeling, some tending fires, some walking with the slow dignity of purpose. You feel the movement of the river echo in your own chest, a gentle rhythm that carries away lingering thoughts and brings focus to the calm of the present moment. Each ripple in the mural becomes a breath, each figure a mirror of patience and resilience. The distant night sounds are muted now, softened to whispers, an owl's gentle wing beat, the faint rustle of leaves, the distant murmur of a bell. Within the temple, these external echoes mix with the internal resonance of walls and candles, forming a gentle symphony that invites complete surrender to calm. You float, weightless, each inhalation and exhalation deepening your connection to the quiet courage held within these ancient stones. Along the final corridor, the carvings depict guardians, figures of serene dignity, standing watch over the temple and all within it. Their eyes, etched in stone, seem to follow you gently, not with judgment but with a soft, protective presence. You feel the comfort of being watched over, not intrusively, but tenderly like a soft hand resting upon your shoulder, offering quiet assurance and calm. You stop before a section of wall where light and shadow blend seamlessly, where carvings of triumph and loss mingle. There is no distinction here between victory and defeat, joy and sorrow. The temple holds all equally, embracing each memory without need for distinction. You breathe deeply, letting the mingled light, shadow, and memory settle into your chest, filling you with a calm strength that is quiet, gentle, and unwavering. The last flickering candles in the hall reflect softly on the stones, their light merging with the lingering night. You feel the weight of centuries dissolve into calm, the walls' stories flowing through you like a soft stream, carrying away tension and leaving only quiet courage and serenity. The temple, the memories, and the gentle night surround you, a cocoon of timeless peace. Let your breath match the rhythm of the walls, slow and steady. Let each exhalation carry you further into stillness. The stones, the carvings, the flickering candles, they are all guides, companions in quiet reflection. You feel the pulse of courage that these walls have held for centuries, soft and gentle, rising in your own heart. Now rest as the temple breathes with memory as the candles sway, and as the night stretches softly overhead. Let the walls of memory cradle you. Let the gentle echoes of time lull you deeper into calm, and let your mind drift, slow and tender, into a serene, peaceful sleep. Night has settled over the temple and the world outside is hushed. The sky stretches wide and dark, a deep velvet sprinkled with scattered stars. Their light is soft, almost shy, casting gentle reflections on the stone walls and quiet courtyards. You drift toward the temple's outer hall, where shadows stretch long and the air feels cool and still. A gentle wind carries the faint scent of evening blossoms, rustling leaves like soft whispers, inviting your breath to slow, to deepen, to follow the calm rhythm of the night. Along the ramparts, guardians move with quiet purpose. Their steps are soft on the stone, measured and steady, a silent heartbeat of vigilance. You drift alongside them, feeling the subtle rise and fall of their breath, the gentle cadence of their motions. Each movement is deliberate, yet without hurry, a quiet reflection of presence. The night is theirs to hold, and in their watchfulness, you find a sense of ease settling over your shoulders, as though the world itself has exhaled and you can finally rest. Lanterns sway gently in the breeze, their flames flickering like fireflies, illuminating the watchtowers in warm, golden halos. You notice how the light touches the stone, softening its edges, tracing the carvings etched into the walls. Each symbol seems to breathe with history, a tender memory of those who have kept watch before. You move with the guardians, your eyes tracing the details. The curve of an archway, the worn steps that have carried countless feet, the quiet hum of a distant bell carried on the wind.